Hi there, Don McGee here, your neighborhood friendly realtor from beautiful Nova Scotia. So previously I gave you my insights as to what was happening and my theories for the July real estate market. Now let's get into the stats and data. We're going to pop over to the InfoSparks data that's pulled from Nova Scotia Association of Realtors. And let me just pop in here and we'll go live. So let's have a look at the month's supply. This is the amount of months it would take to sell out of properties if we had no new listings come to market. So currently we are sitting at 7.5 months of inventory on the South Shore, 5.9 in the Annapolis Valley, 2.6 in Halifax, Dartmouth, and 4.3 for Nova Scotia as a whole. Now, anything over 5 months, 5 to 6 months, that is considered a buyer's market. So Halifax, Dartmouth, they're still sitting strong in a seller's market and have been for a number of years now. If you look all the way back to July of 2019, Halifax Dartmouth had 4.3 months worth of inventory, which was, teetering on a full-blown seller's market. Now, I remember back in 2019, I did my article about how demographics were affecting the housing market. So go back and check that out. I had some insights as to rental vacancy rates and the aging population. So we kind of saw the writing on the wall to be in the situation of a housing crisis that we're in today. So month supply increasing, good for buyers. Let's have a look at days on market. So days on market are increasing. You can see from month over month, everywhere is up, except for the South Shore. They're down actually 3. Annapolis Valley is up 7. Halifax Dartmouth's up 6 and 5, sorry. And the entire MLS for Nova Scotia is up 5. So good trajectory. That means it's taking longer for homes to sell, giving buyers a chance to have a look around and not have to make rash decisions. Now, as you can see, it was down pretty low here at the height of COVID. April 2022 was basically the peak, where it only took 5 days in the Halifax area for a home to sell. Now, that's probably including the days that the agents were leaving offers open until time. So they wanted buyers to have a chance to view the property, so they wouldn't accept any offers for like 3 or 4 days. So that's probably taking that into consideration too. Now, normally way back here in pre-COVID times, you're looking at, a month and a half in the Annapolis Valley for a home to get an offer, which was pretty normal, a month and a half, a bit quicker in the Halifax area. So it's definitely headed in the right direction, giving that breathing room for home buyers to take a look around. Now, for home sellers, this is a good indication as to when you should be making a price adjustment. It's saying that if you're on the market longer than 15, 20, 30 days, depending on what area of Nova Scotia you're in, that means that maybe you're priced too high, because on average or median, homes are selling in this amount of time. And if it's taking you longer, then you need to adjust your price. Let's have a look at new listings. So for new listings, we are seeing actually a sideways step here in the month of July. Traditionally, we've seen new listings peak in May, June. May was when we saw the spring market peak. But then we'd see traditionally a downward slide for the rest of the year. Downward slide. So you get less and less every month. So, but here, where we should be seeing a downward slide for the rest of the summer, we saw a sideways step for July. And I think that has a lot to do with the Bank of Canada doing a rate cut, and which decreased mortgage rates. So a lot of sellers put their homes on the market thinking there was going to be an influx of buyers coming back to the table. Now, when you look at the homes for sale, we're seeing a lot more of a dramatic increase than we did with the new listings. This tells me that there's a lot of homes on the market that are overpriced, and the inventory is just accumulating and accumulating because those homes aren't selling. So let's have a look next at the number of home sales. So for July, we have seen a bit of a plateau happening here. Now, if you look back over previous years, we have the same story as we do with the new listings, with the peak of the spring market happening May and June, May and June, May, May, May. So, and then it would go a gradual downward slide for the rest of the year. This little peak here is typically when folks are finding a home and trying to get their settled before the kids go to school in September. So you have a little bit of a end of summer rush there. And then here you have a little of end of season rush here, where buyers are trying to get last minute deals and thinking the sellers are going to be more negotiable in the wintertime, that sort of thing. But when you're looking from June to July, it is not as great a decrease as we would normally expect for this time in the season. And again, I think that has to do with the Bank of Canada having their decrease back in July of the basis points. So we will probably see this flattening out here, this plateau happening with home sellers anticipating and home buyers anticipating more rate cuts to come. So what everybody wants to see now is the home prices. What are homes selling for in Nova Scotia? Now, again, I like to look at the median home sale price. Other agents doing these reports look at the average home sale price, and there's about a $30,000 difference. So, and the average will take into account all the home sales from the extreme ends of the market and divide that by the number of actual home sales. So you may have some prices, home prices at the either end of the spectrums that may really sway that average number, whereas the median is the exact number in the middle of all the number of homes sold. It's that number in the exact middle. So looking at home average sales for Nova Scotia, for July, it is sitting at 470,674. Now that is up just slightly from June and down slightly from May. Halifax is sitting at 588, and that's up just 0.8% from this time last year. For the Annapolis Valley, the average home price is $411,393. That's up 9.2% from this time last year, and up quite a bit from June, where it was sitting at $383,271. South Shore, same story, up about 30,000 to 430,126. Now that's actually down 10% from this time last year. But as you can see, we're making new records. I mean, the peak for Halifax was previously was 609 here back in April 2022, and now they're sitting at 588. Not too far off for the entire Nova Scotia. Last closest price was 476. We're at 470, so we're pretty much matching the COVID highs. For South Shore, they had 430 here. There was a peak here at 484, 482. So their best time was back in August of 2022. From the Annapolis Valley, the peak was 407, and here we are sitting at 411. So 411 for Annapolis Valley is an all-time high. So those are average prices. If we look over at the median home sale prices, again, same sort of influx. It's all relative, the path, but significantly less than the average prices, with the Nova Scotia median home sale price sitting at 445, whereas the average price was sitting at 470. Halifax median price is sitting at 550, whereas the average price was sitting at 588. The Annapolis Valley was at 411 average. Now they're sitting on the median scale at 383,850. And quite a difference on the South Shore, whereas they were sitting at 362 for a median home sale price. The average was sitting at 430. So that is quite a difference. That tells me there was some significant high-end homes sold on the South Shore in the month of July. So that gives you some idea if you're looking to move to Nova Scotia or make a move in Nova Scotia, what areas of Nova Scotia may fit your budget best. But if you're looking to sell, it's really worthwhile to have a realtor come to your home and assess your property's condition, location, and take that information and do research with other properties that have sold in the area to give you an accurate market evaluation. This has been The Real Deal with Dawn.